This tutorial is to show you how to use Openoffice Draw to create maps for text structure of scientific texts. So basically, I'm going to start with an existing project, the analysis of text structure in research texts. And what I'm going to do is to download some existing maps that we have within this project. And basically clicking on this 2676 zip, I'm going to download the files. And I have already done this, so basically this is the zip file. I basically extracted all the files to my desktop. And very important, to be able to open the Openoffice files, of course you have to have Openoffice installed. If you don't know how to do this, you can just do a search for Openoffice and it will show you what it looks like. So basically when you double click on one of the maps, what you are going to have is something like this. On the left side, you have an overview of the entire document, and on the right side of the screen, you have a detailed vision about the map itself. Now, the way you navigate initially within this map is the most important tool is this one, the zoom. So you can zoom in and zoom out. And as you can see, you can get a pretty good view of what the map looks like. So the first thing you notice, so you can do this in and out. Okay, so zoom in and zoom out. One of the things you're going to notice when you first look at the map is that there are some major sections here. So on the very top, on the left top corner, you will see that there's a reference for the scientific paper that's being analyzed. And also, let's just zoom in here. In addition to the paper, you will have a link, and you know this is a hyperlink because the cursor will turn into a little hand. A link to the actual full text version of the paper. So if I click here, it's going to open up my browser and it's going to show me the original paper, with all the pictures and different graphics that you can open. So everything will be here. So back to our paper. So on the top left corner, you will have the reference for the paper, and then if you look from a distance, you will notice that the actual paper is split into 4 main lanes. And these lanes, they correspond to the main sections of most scientific papers, which are introduction, methods, results, and discussion. So if let's just take this introduction as an example. Oops. So you will notice that within each one of these sections, what we actually did, so going back to the original paper, was to take the paper from the very beginning. So skipping the abstract, because the abstract is a little different. But from the introduction, you will see that basically what we did was to take the text from the introduction and paste it in the map, but giving each section or each text block a title. A title that basically summarizes the role of that portion of text or of that text block within the scientific paper. So for example, in this paper, McFarlane was saying studies among UK veterans of Gulf, blah 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 blah. Basically what he's trying to do here is to emphasize the significance of the topic. So that's basically, because all these sentences, they are focused on one single role within the paper, we put it in under a single block and under a single title. And basically what we keep doing is to go, portion by portion. And again, very important, a text block is not necessarily equal to a paragraph. So you might have one text block that runs across multiple paragraphs, or you can have one paragraph that has multiple text blocks. So paragraph doesn't mean anything in terms of text blocks. And then once you map, each one of the text blocks, what you do is that you create arrows that establish the relationship between two or more text blocks. So let's get a little technical here. So how do you actually modify these text blocks? Well, to modify an existing text block, all you do is to click twice, and you see that the cursor will show up here, and now I'm able to basically add or delete text. Once I click outside the box, it will basically stop editing. Same thing for the arrows. So in terms of the arrows, if I click twice, a cursor will show there and I can add or delete text. Same thing is also true for the title. So basically that's the idea whenever a map is already existing. Now if you want to add additional texts, I think that one possibility is for you to click here on the rectangle and then simply draw a new block. The standard color is blue, which you can actually change to white, and then if you double click you can add text, and you can change the text font. But I think that just for consistency, the easiest way to add a text block is simply to click once, only once, on the text block, hit Ctrl C or edit copy, and then edit paste or Ctrl V. And when you do this, what happens is that you automatically create two text blocks. Notice that when I first did this, one block was on top of the other. So basically I have to move the block to the side so that I can see that they are separate. And then instead of having to create a new block, I simply edit the title of the block and I add the actual content of the block. So this is probably easier than having to create a new block every time. And to add arrows, it's really simple. All you do is that you basically click on this section here. Notice that I'm clicking on the connector, not the lines and arrows. And the reason why you want to use the connector is because the connector allows your arrow to be connected to the box. So whenever you move the box, the arrow will follow. That doesn't happen with this type of arrow here. So basically you click here, and the most common type of connector is this one. Straight connector ends with arrow. You simply click there, and then you go to the middle section of the box, push, oops, wrong. Just go over here, and then you can move it to whatever you want. Like I could move it to this place, for example. Okay, and it's basically connected. If I double click in the middle of the arrow, a cursor will show up. Double click in the middle of the arrow, a cursor will show up, and then I can add text. If I want to delete an arrow, I simply click. You see that it's selected because there are two red dots on each extremity, and then I simply hit delete, and it's gone. That's basically